Hello, and welcome to episode 490 of Prog Review. And today I'm talking about We Can't Dance by Genesis. I know I wasn't going to do another Genesis one till maybe next year, But someone mentioned it, I thought, what the hell? I mean, I should have saved it till the 11th of November when the album celebrates its 25th anniversary. Is that right? Does that feel right? Blimey, 25 years. But I'm doing it now. Because somebody mentioned it the other day. I thought, what the hell? Let's do it. Let's get in there. And it's the band's 14th studio album. And it was released originally back in the 11th of November in 1991. I remember because I was there. It was actually preceded by a single, No Son of Mine, which was, it was all right, I suppose. Again, it's a sing-along, isn't it? It's a bit of a sing-along, that one. But I thought, as an opening single, it sounded all right-ish. Before we start, we might as well get the one big criticism out of the way. It is 71 minutes 30 length. 71 minutes 30 in length. Again, this is that thing that I often go on about, where they feel the need to fill a CD. Now remember, Invisible Touch, which preceded it, the classic album. I know there are many of you who are, deniers. They're Invisible Touch deniers, and you've got to. I was like you once, but then I saw the light. And I realised just how great an album Invisible Touch is. That is only 45 minutes and 42 seconds. It doesn't outstay its welcome. But this blooming thing is 71 minutes 30 seconds long, and there is absolutely no justification for it. There isn't. There's absolutely no justification, for this at all. It didn't need to be this long. But I digress. So it starts off with No Son of Mine, which is about, families at war, falling out with your dad. Oh, it struck me. It hit the open nerve, which was the relationship between myself and my own errant father. I kid. I thought it was a bit cheesy, bit soapy, but there you go. But I did enjoy the following track, Jesus He Knows Me, because it is a real bit of, it's quite a cutting satire on the business of religion in America. Now, again, you'd expect them to probably get death threats and people burning effigies of Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford and Tony Banks outside their concerts. Such is the fury that anti-religion brings to old God-fearing America. But it didn't. But I love the video as well. I think the video is very inventive and very creative. But I really like the track because it's them, doing satire. It's funny and it's satirical and it gets to the point. And I think it should have. I think it was released as a single, wasn't it? I'm forgetting how many singles there were released. 1, 2, 3, 4 singles released. No, there was more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 singles released off this album. Of course, Jesus Knows Me one. They made a bloody video for it. But I really like one. Driving Life Spike is one of the long songs on the album. It's 10 minutes long, and it's all about the navvies, the navigators, cutting their way, building the canals and railways through our land, the green and pleasant land. It's all right. I think it works better live than it does on the album. Yeah, that's it. I Can't Dance. Yeah. It's alright, isn't it? It's a bit of a laugh, but it's a bit fluffy. Never a Time. Skip it. Dreaming While You Sleep, again, it's a bit of another of the long ones. It's a very serious one. It's about someone in a coma and the person who put them there, visiting them, and it's all a bit creepy. It's a bit like stalkery stuff. And again, I think it works live. A lot of these tracks work better live than they do on the album. Tell me why it's on the album. Am I right or am I right? Living Forever, absolutely love that one. Why do I love it? I think it was a B-side to begin with, and then the album, was it a B-side? I can't remember. I'm sure it feels like it was a B-side to No Son of Mine, but I'm probably wrong, because I'm wrong about everything. Oh, my mind. I did buy all the singles. I had all the CD singles. I had them in the box and everything, and then I sold them to buy a pushchair, because you couldn't get much for CD singles back in 2007. God, 10 years ago, nearly, next year. So yeah, I like Living Forever because it's got really good, the drums. I really like the drums in it. It's Phil Collins playing fast and loose with the drums, and I like the sentiment of, trying to stay healthy and the goalposts always moving, and reminds me of Woody Allen's Sleeper, where cigars and steak are healthy in the future. I like that. Hold on My Heart. Oh, I'm gonna allow that one. I think we're allowed one ballad on the, one saccharine infused ballad on the album. I think it's Hold on My Heart. I'm gonna let that one stay. Way of the World, if absolutely, and Since I Lost You. So you can see where I'm going with this. Those tracks, I think, are B-sides, right? But they somehow found themselves on the album. I don't know why. Again, we've got a CD. Let's fill it full of music instead of actually putting together a cogent album of interesting music, that works as an album. These artists, and it still goes on today, squirt as much music as they can onto the CD and hope that they get away with it. And also the sequencing, you get ballad after ballad, and just compare this to Invisible Touch or the Genesis Shapes album, and you see what I mean. Those albums are sequenced well. It runs out of steam. And then we get to the what I think is probably the highlight of the album, Fading Lights, which again is another long song, and it's all about coming to an end. It's all about things coming to an end. It's about mortality. It's about that mortality and everything else. And also for me, felt like it was the end of Genesis. It felt like it was the band, sayonara. So yeah, that always, when I heard this album for the first time, that always weighed on my mind that this could be the last Genesis album. Some may say it is, if you don't include what they did with Calling All Stations. But yeah, I like Fading Lights. I like the way it builds up. I like the instrumental pieces, the Tony Banks running amok on the keyboards. And again, works really well as a live track. So yeah, it's a very uneven album. It's lopsided, too long. The good stuff is obscured by the bad, by all the ballads, and the ballads are not even good ballads. Phil Collins can do better than that, because I think he was allowed to, write a lot of the lyrics for this. They sent him off and say, "Oh, Phil, you can do this one." And I think some of the lyrics are just, especially the ballad, just meaningless. It's almost like the bumper book of rhymes has been used. So yeah, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It really is. It's uneven, and that's the problem. I'm not a big fan of it. If I could, I'd cut half of the album away. I'd pare it right back to, like I say, a 35-40 minute record. No Son of Mine, Jesus Who Knows Me, Driving Last Spite, I Can't Dance, Living Forever, Hold On My Heart, and Fading Lights. That's probably what I'd, that's the thing. We'll work out the track listing later, but that's the nub of it. I'm probably completely wrong. You probably all completely disagree with me. There are people out there that love this record, and that's great. I'm glad that you love it, but you have to admit, compared to their other records, it's a bit lumpy, isn't it? It's a bit lumpy. It doesn't run smooth. Also, I mean, it was originally meant to be called Father and Son, wasn't it? Because you've got the lovely picture on the front of the boy and his dad, reaching upwards. But instead they called it We Can't Dance. Again, that was a comment at the time about dance music in the charts. And again, out of context, you look at the album, it means nothing. It should have been called Father and Son. you know, because it's all the best stories about fathers and sons, aren't they? You know, fathers and sons, and yeah. So in terms of a oh god, in terms of a rating, this is a tricky one because again I had a lot of fondness for it when it came out, but as time went on, you realise that it's a bit, you know, it's a bit bland, isn't it? It's a bit bland in places and lacks a lot of the character that their previous albums have had. So for that, I'm going down the middle. I'm going straight down the middle. I'm going to give this, are you ready? Are you ready? Giving it 3 fading lights out of 5. 3 fading lights out of 5. It really should be 2.5, but I'm feeling a bit generous today. And again, even the B-sides, On the Shoreline and Hearts of Fire, are bloody awful too. So, you know, in a way, you know, it is not the perfect album, but I think you'll agree with me that some of the tracks on it really work well live, and that's how they should be heard. Thank you. So that's it. My name's been Darren Locke. I have been talking about I Can't Dance by Genesis from 1991. I was 20 years old. Almost. Yeah, I was 20 years old. Yeah, God, I was 20 years old. And I was at university, or college at the time, studying. But that's by the by. Now, as per obligation, I've got to ask you to give me all your money, because we have to annoy all the umpty go-karts out there, don't we? So don't forget, you can give me all your money. The links in the box below. There's a Patreon thing, which is pretty cool, because I'm doing extra videos, so I'm making a bit more work for myself to look after all the people who do the Patreon, because that's a good thing to do, isn't it? It's just a nice thing to do. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be another one of these along very, very shortly. Don't forget to thumbs it up or down. Don't forget there's also music at music.darrenlock.com. You can go there and listen to some music of mine, noodling, endless bloody noodling. That's pretty good. Patreon.com/lock. Don't you check that out? It's in the box below. There's all the places. You can also have a look in the box below, because it's got all the places where my music is available digitally. I've added that. You can go in there and see all the different places like Spotify and Tidal and whatnot. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So give me all your money. Give me all your money. Oh yeah, give me hard sell. And yeah, and we're only 10 episodes away from the big 500, and I've got to think of something to do for 500. Can't think of anything. So anyway, that's it. My name's been Darren Locke. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it all. And we'll do this all again really soon. There's only one more thing to say, and that is Prog on.